let me do a little overview of the material that you need to look at for Chapter 7. So when you click on Work for the week of September 29th, of course it won't open for me. Okay, as always, please do the pre-class survey. But it's everything you see is there's nothing new except for the essay part. So I want to reiterate that the topic of the essay that is due at the very end of the semester is nonverbal communication. So this is a chapter for you to probably read more than once. Definitely do the survey, especially where I say, is there something you want me to talk about in more detail? Because if you don't tell me, I won't know what you don't understand. Okay. Obviously in the lectures and videos, you see my mini lecture here. There were a few lectures that were mentioned in this chapter, and then there are the old lectures from the 15th edition, which just in case, if you're reading and you say, wow, I don't understand this thing where they're talking about voice, we'll go to that section and watch the video, and maybe that will answer your questions. Okay, the discussion for this week is to talk about a time where you used either the wrong nonverbal communication or maybe your nonverbal communication was misunderstood. As I said, maybe you pointed the wrong way, you rolled your eyes, you came in late for a meeting, you wore the wrong outfit to an event, you winked at someone and somebody took it the wrong way. And as I said in this chapter, if you look at the last section, which is types of nonverbal communication, it might give you an idea of what topic to talk about. So here are the 3 points that you want to be prepared to discuss. What are the norms of nonverbal behavior for this situation? So you're talking about wearing the wrong outfit. You went to a wedding and you wore the wrong outfit. Okay, so what are for that specific wedding, what were the norms of attire, of dress? Okay, and so because you didn't communicate effectively non-verbally, how did that impact your conversation, your communication? Okay, and then once you've talked about that, maybe your group can discuss, are there things that they believe you could have done differently in that situation, or are there things maybe it's something that you do unconsciously, and so they can maybe give you ideas of ways that you can be on the lookout for it next time. Okay. And then, hold on. Obviously, I'll talk about the essay in a minute. There's the quiz, as always. Supplemental material. Let me just click on this because I went way overboard. Bunch of articles. 2, 4, 6, 7 articles, 2, 4, 6 videos. These are just, if you're interested in the topic, these are ideas that you can look at to go into more depth on it. You certainly don't have to. And then the post-class feedback. Remember, this is what I ask you in class. You do not have to go into Blackboard and post something, because you've already put it in the chat when we're in WebEx. Okay, so let's go to the essay. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to bounce back. I'm going to start here under this section that you should be making a lot of use of now: assignment descriptions and sample assignments. I know several people are having problems formatting their journals, and so there's a video on how to format the journal. If you use Google Docs, there's a short video about how you can make sure that you have the 1-inch margins, etc. There is a sample works cited page. So make sure when you do the works cited page that you're going to cite the one that you're using, the actual hard copy of the textbook or the online version. If you are using a different version, and I'm not really sure what that would be, make sure you are citing it correctly. If you're not sure how to do it, let me know. We can work on it together. And in class, we're going to go over our textbook cites a lot of other authors, and how do you cite material that they cited. But let's go to the essay. Okay, so it's a lot of stuff. We will spend some time in class talking about this, but I want you to get in here and, I always say, noodle around. So we're going to look at the description and the timeline. Then I have the regular timeline. Then I have the score sheet, otherwise known as the rubric, in both Word and as a PDF. There are some pointers for doing the essay, a short list of some past topics, and some sample essays. I don't know if you're an eager beaver and you get, is that even a phrase people still use? I'm going to go in and change some of these essays. Someone last semester over the summer said they did not find these sample essays useful. So I'm going to take some out and put some in. So don't spend too much time looking at those sample essays just yet. But let us look at the essay. Oops. Okay. So here's the essay. Can I make this bigger? Okay. So, it is an essay on the cultural norms of nonverbal communication. Okay. And so what you do is you have the choice, depending on what your life is like and what your personality is like and what you can do. I really should flip these, but because an observation, I think, for a lot of people is the easiest. You know, you're going to a gender reveal party, so you're going to write about a certain nonverbal communication that you see at the gender reveal party, or you have you are going to you're going out to dinner with someone. You're going to write about your observation, or you're working, and so you're gonna focus on some very specific aspect of nonverbal communication and report on that. That is a possibility. Or if you are more adventurous, you can do an experiment where you violate a norm of nonverbal communication. And can I move this over? Here are some of the things that people have done in the past. This was funny. Someone took an invisible dog to the dog park. A woman got her mother and a friend to wear pajamas to church. There's a woman who went to a restaurant, ordered a dish, asked if there were mushrooms in it. The person said yes. Is that a problem? She said no. And then she picked out the mushrooms and she put them on her napkin. Okay. Facing backward in an elevator, sitting next to a stranger on a park bench, paying for a meal at Burger King in pennies, not returning greetings at a store, although I think this is a new norm, and not matching words and tone when responding. Like if the cashier says, "Hey, how are you?" and you say, "Great," or you say, "Horrible." Okay, so those are possibilities. Okay, so in any case, 2 periods here. I hate that. Okay, read over the essay description carefully. I am a big fan of doing this in manageable chunks, right? Because I know not everybody, but I'm going to guess the majority of people have a tendency to leave things to the last minute, because there's always something that's more pressing. And what I find for myself and for work that I have read, when it is left to the last minute, it tends not to be as good as it could be. So you see, whether you're doing the experiment or the observation, this is, how do you think people, oops, yep, I don't know, okay, shoot, sorry, this is supposed to be connected. Okay. So if you notice, each of them have 5 parts that you have to answer. And so what I'm doing is I am splitting up the essay into, as I said, manageable chunks. So what you're going to do is initially you're going to look at question number 1 and question number 2. And then once I read it over and I say, yes, you are good to go, I like your hypothesis, you are then going to actually, I give you approximately a month to do the observation. And then part 2 is due, where you are writing up what you actually observed, whether you were doing the observation or the experiment. And then you're going to, when you answer question number 5, you're going to put it all together as a rough draft. And then I will be merciless on your rough draft. I will give you lots of feedback. I mean, I'm going to give you feedback on all of these parts, but I will give you lots and lots and lots of feedback on that rough draft, and then you will hand in the final draft, where I will not give you much feedback, because at that point, what are you going to do with my feedback anyways? Okay, so let me get out of here. Let me go, go back up to here and then to here. So we'll just take a look at, you have to decide pretty quickly. Are you going to do the experiment or are you going to do the observation? And what you're going to hand in is your choice of what you're doing, how you're going to do it, what are the rules, what are the norms of this place that you are, where you're doing the violation, and or what are the norms where you are doing the observation. And make sure you use vocabulary from chapter 7. You must do this as if it was the actual final essay. So you're going to do it in MLA format. You're going to do it as an attached Word document. You're going to have a header on the upper left of the first page, your name, my name, the course name, the date. You're going to have a title that's centered, and you're going to actually write it in paragraphs. Because, so you do part 1, I give you feedback, you make some modifications, and you add part 2. I give you feedback, you make modifications, you add part 3. So by the time you are at part 3, or part 4, which is the final essay, you've done so much of the work. Okay, I hope that is clear. Please listen to this video, and we will spend some time in class discussing this. So if you have questions about the essay, October 2nd, when we're in class, that is the perfect time to ask. And if you have a question, guaranteed somebody else has a question or has a similar question.